Yeah, it was my choice. I didn't really talk to anybody about it. I just kind of told my team like I'm gonna just say the truth.
He's strong, he has good left hook. One time he opened up, I cracked him and he didn't open up at all.
It didn't look like it was training. Ryan didn't train for that fight.
You don't think so? Why?
I don't think so. Ryan didn't train. He didn't train for that fight.
After his surprising loss to Rolly Romero, Ryan Garcia dropped a bombshell, revealing he wasn't mentally ready to fight and felt pushed into the ring by his team. "I tried to fight through it but found myself very off after the year layoff," he admitted. Garcia opened up about his personal struggles during his time away from the sport, saying the year was extremely tough and took a toll on his mental health. Despite feeling clearer now, he suggested the decision to return wasn't entirely his own. "I'm extremely disappointed," he said, hinting he knew deep down he shouldn't have fought and even teased the idea of early retirement.
Just found myself very off after the year layoff. That whole year, it was a lot for me mentally, as you guys know. So the fact that I got here and I'm in the position I am, my mind is as clear as it is a victory for me, I would say.
Ryan Garcia's emotional admission painted the picture of a fighter battling more than just his opponent. His revelation that he wasn't mentally ready to face Rolly Romero sent shockwaves through the boxing community. Promoter Lou DiBella expressed disbelief, saying, "Rolly outboxing Ryan was not a scenario I saw coming." After a full year away from the ring, Garcia was thrown into a high-stakes bout, a move many insiders deemed reckless. Bill Haney voiced his confusion on X, posting, "Congratulations to Devin, Rolly and Teo for an iconic night of Boxing 3.0. Meanwhile, questions swirled around Garcia's promotional team. One user commented, "I'm still extremely puzzled how Ryan hasn't fired De La Hoya for putting him in the ring clean, no PDs against Rolly." Garcia's own comments confirmed he wasn't prepared, yet those around him seemed more focused on business than his well-being. Critics now argue that Oscar De La Hoya set Garcia up to fail. Despite Garcia's emotional breakdown and clear signs of being unready, De La Hoya dismissed the loss. "This fight wasn't devastating at all," he said, adding, "Ryan knows what he has to do." His remarks sparked outrage among fans and insiders who felt Garcia had been betrayed by his team. Instead of showing accountability, De La Hoya downplayed the consequences, further fueling criticism over his role in Garcia's poor management. Now, fans are left wondering, will Ryan Garcia finally break away from a team that seemingly prioritized profit over his health and future in boxing?
He'll live to see another day. That's it.
How devastating of a loss is this for Ryan, man?
Not devastating at all. At all. Went 12 rounds. He knows he's way better than that. He knows what he has to do. So.
Do you think the Devin Haney fight probably off the table? Do you think that, or?
It'll be back. It has to happen.
How do you think Devin looked out there, man?
Gun shy. Literally, he was running. I mean, he was scared to me.
Yeah.
Scared of getting hit.
Bob Arum recently made waves with strong criticism of Ryan Garcia's return to the ring, calling out both Garcia's management and promotional team for poor decision-making. He took issue with the choice to have Garcia face Rolly Romero after a year-long hiatus, pointing to a lack of proper planning as a major factor in Garcia's underwhelming performance. Arum stressed that after such a lengthy layoff, Garcia should have taken a tune-up fight before stepping into a high-risk bout against a dangerous opponent like Romero. According to Arum, this decision reflects a troubling trend in boxing, prioritizing big paydays over smart, strategic career building. A good decision would have been to take a tune-up fight and then move to a Romero or a Haney, Arum explained, underscoring the value of gradually building momentum. He emphasized that boxers need time to regain rhythm and confidence after long breaks, and rushing them back into elite-level competition can be detrimental. Arum's remarks highlight the broader issue of how financial incentives often override sound matchmaking decisions in boxing. He warned that such missteps can have lasting effects on a fighter's career, especially young talents like Garcia. Arum also noted that even top fighters aren't immune. He referenced Devin Haney's performance against Jose Ramirez after a year off, saying Haney looked out of sync. Bad matchmaking is a huge part of this game, Arum stated, emphasizing the need for experienced, thoughtful matchmakers who prioritize a fighter's readiness over profit. His comments serve as a warning to the industry about the dangers of poor planning and the importance of protecting fighters by making careful, strategic decisions about their careers.
This is a lack of real planning. He should have had a tune-up fight first and then go into a fight with a guy like Romero. But, you know, these fighters and the promoters get turned by the money, and they don't make really good decisions. A good decision would have been to take a tune-up fight, and then, you know, then you move to a Romero or even a Haney or so forth. You don't go right in after a year. You know, look at Haney. Haney looked terrible with Ramirez because he hadn't fought in a year.
Did he seem to be gun shy? Did he seem to be worried about taking another big shot?
Who's that?
David Haney, with the way that he was moving
Absolutely.
around the ring.
You see that? I mean, you know, I don't know how he scored because it's hard to tell. But, you know, who's going to want to see Haney fight if he fights that way?
You want to see the rematch? After what? Yeah.
What do you think about Teofimo Lopez?
He did okay. I mean, he did okay. But he knew he was in with Barboza, who can't break an egg. Barboza's fought so many fights for us. I don't think he's had one knockout. You know, so Teofimo could show his whole arsenal.
Ryan Garcia has been refreshingly open about his mental health struggles, offering a rare glimpse into the emotional battles he's faced outside the ring. In a candid interview, Garcia shared that he has been dealing with anxiety and panic attacks since the age of 17. At one point, his fear became so overwhelming that he developed hypochondria, obsessing over the idea that he was gravely ill. His focus faded, and his anxiety spiraled out of control. "I just kept going through that. More panic attacks, and I couldn't breathe half the time," he recalled, highlighting the heavy toll it took on him. Instead of hiding behind a more socially accepted excuse like a physical injury, Garcia made the bold decision to be honest about his mental health. "It was my choice," he said, revealing that he didn't even consult his team before speaking out. Despite facing backlash, he stood firm, explaining that being truthful was the first step toward healing. He urged others facing similar struggles to seek support and practice self-awareness. "Talk to the right people, talk to yourself, and understand you're not alone," he advised. Garcia's courage in revealing his vulnerability has opened important conversations about mental health in boxing, a sport where emotional struggles are often kept in the shadows. His honesty may empower others to do the same.
This was a time, obviously, in learning more about.
You go to therapy?
Yeah, I was going to therapy, and I took all the steps that I just wanted to get better, so I took every step that you
And
could.
who advised you to be so open about it? Because I'm sure your team was like, let's just say it's a shoulder injury, let's not talk about mental health. Because again, you're the first one to do it.
Yeah.
Was it your choice?
Yeah, it was my choice. I didn't really talk to anybody about it. I just kind of told my team, like, I'm gonna just say the truth. That's it. And we'll see.
And you still got backlash after that?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Of course, because there's people that have like this idea
On social media.
Well, because they really want me to, like, you know, I'm just easy to pick on, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you know, this kid.
Like he has everything.
Yeah.
What do you mean mental health? It's
Yeah.
like, no, you don't understand. Like,
Yeah,
your
no,
stuff,
crazy.
but-
You're
but
still
stuff doesn't
human
equal
being
half.
first,
But the
you know?
thing is, I've struggled with it since I was 17. It was something new. It just got to, like, a place where, and I don't even know how it truly happened, but because I had just won the biggest fight of my life.
Which fight was that?
It was Luke Campbell, right after I knocked him out.
Huge fight.
And I was on top of the world. Like, I mean, my social media numbers were even crazier than it is now, and it's
Is there a
crazy
big
now.
growth from that? Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. But
Was it the pressure? Is that what got to you?
no, I got to, like, I just got so lost. Like, I don't know. I can't really explain it. I just kind of like being in a maze and you don't know where to go. Like, I just couldn't keep my focus on anything, and then I just kept on thinking I was sick. I came to, like, I became like a true hypochondriac to the point where I was like, yo, I got a problem for sure. Like, and then I just kept going through that, and then more panic attacks. Not gonna breathe half the time.
So how'd you get out of it?
Talk to the right people.
Talk to the right people.
First of all, talk to yourself.
Yeah.
And say this is an issue.
Exactly. Being honest with yourself, the truth, and then conversations with people and understanding that other people have went through a similar situation. It kind of eases off that thing. I'm alone in a way. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Both Mike Tyson and Derek Jeter expressed disappointment in Ryan Garcia's performance following his loss to Rolly Romero. During a live discussion, Derek was blunt, stating, "Ryan didn't train for that fight." He highlighted that Garcia's lack of preparation was evident, especially after a year-long layoff. Tyson, though more measured in tone, agreed with Jeter's assessment, voicing concern about Garcia's readiness. Derek emphasized that while Garcia may not have fully committed to training camp, Romero deserved full credit for his performance. Their candid remarks reflect a growing consensus. Garcia's lack of proper preparation played a major role in his defeat, underscoring the importance of training in high-stakes fights.
50-50.
A dance partner that makes sense. Rolly don't make sense.
No.
Not really. I mean, what is he known for? Getting beat, and then not looking so good. Like, he's been on a kind of a downward spiral. He doesn't even look very confident about this fight. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you that I'm always on Rolly's team, but it just doesn't look so good right now. But I'm going to tune in. Hopefully, he can pull up an upset and actually give a good fight. I just haven't seen him in one in a long time.
Teddy Atlas recently offered an insightful breakdown of Ryan Garcia's return to the ring against Rolly Romero, analyzing both fighters with his trademark candor. He noted that this matchup gives Romero another big opportunity to prove himself and secure a major payday. While Atlas joked about Romero possibly having behind-the-scenes leverage to land these fights, he also praised his fighting spirit and acknowledged the stability Romero seems to have found in recent bouts. Turning to Garcia, Atlas remarked on the noticeable change in his demeanor. He sees a more mature, focused fighter, someone who now appears quieter and more dedicated to the sport. Atlas didn't shy away from Garcia's troubled past, referencing moments of self-doubt and questionable decisions that once raised concerns. However, he believes that if Garcia has truly confronted his inner struggles and found confidence, he still has the potential for greatness. As for Romero, Atlas highlighted his strong fundamentals, talent, technique, and an effective style, which could make him a dominant force, especially if he's mentally and emotionally aligned. While the outcome of the bout remains uncertain, Atlas concluded that Romero could rise to the occasion if he brings his best to the ring.
The ring versus Rolly Romero. Rolly gets another crack at it, another huge fight, another payday.
Does Rolly, hey, look, I'm a kid. I'm kidding. I like him. He's a fighter. I like him. He's a fighter, and he's gotten a little more humble. He's quieted down. He just fights now. I like him. But let me ask you a question, Bud. Okay? Again, because I think people, if anything, they can hate me, they can like me, they can tolerate me, but they know I'm going to say what I think, and maybe what they're thinking, but they can't say. But does he have pictures on somebody? Because he keeps getting these fights. He loses the big ones, and he gives it all. I'm not knocking him, but he loses the big ones, and then he comes up and gets a big fight where obviously it passes somebody else up on the line that probably thinks, hey, wait a minute, I've been winning. I've been winning over here, and I'm not getting this shot. This guy loses when he gets them, and he gets another one. Like, what the?
That's
like,
amazing.
What the heck? What the heck?
You go back to when he was fighting on Showbox. He fought a guy from a Dominican kid named Jackson Marinas. I thought he lost that fight. I was live at the fight in Vegas versus Ishmael Barossa. Tony Weeks gives him a gift, stops the fight. Horrible stoppage. He loses to Pitbull Cruz, to your point, to Tank Davis, and here he is again. He could talk, he could sell, right? He's got a mouthpiece on him.
And he's got Al Heyman. He's got Al Heyman. Al
he's
Heyman
got
has helped him.
Yeah, most importantly, and an exciting style, right? He does come forward. He is strong, and he engages. So in this,
he's
fight,
kind of sometimes he's kamikaze, but yeah, he goes and he comes and he comes and he puts it forward and he leaves it.
Rolando Rolly Romero's win over Ryan Garcia is being seen as a major wake-up call for fighters, coaches, and the boxing world at large. The fight underscored the critical importance of discipline, preparation, and consistency, qualities that are non-negotiable in a sport long referred to as the sweet science. Coaches who prioritize fundamentals like footwork, hand placement, and ring IQ would likely find Garcia's performance frustrating. While his signature left hook remains a known threat, his tendency to rely on it, combined with long stretches of inactivity, cost him valuable momentum. Throughout the fight, Garcia struggled to maintain a consistent offensive output, allowing Romero to control key moments and edge ahead. Despite the disappointing loss, Garcia's post-fight response showcased a high level of maturity and grace. Rather than making excuses or deflecting blame, he congratulated Romero and acknowledged his defeat with dignity. Fans and analysts praised his reaction, with one observer tweeting, "Ryan Garcia showing a lot of class in defeat, congratulating Rolly Romero and making no excuses." His composure under pressure highlighted his emotional growth and respect for the sport, leaving a positive impression even in defeat. However, controversy soon followed with the release of the official scorecards. Judges scored the fight 115 to 112, 115 to 112, and 118 to 109 in Romero's favor. This sparked debate among fans and analysts, especially considering Garcia scored an early knockdown. CompuBox data showed Garcia landed only 54 punches over 12 rounds, one of the lowest recorded totals, reflecting his struggle to find rhythm after a year-long suspension. The wide margin in the scoring led many to question the accuracy and fairness of the judges' decisions. Some argued that the fight, while clearly won by Romero, wasn't as one-sided as the card suggested. The controversy has reignited discussions about the integrity of boxing's judging system, with calls for more transparency and standardized criteria. Ultimately, Romero's victory was earned, but the fallout from the scoring has added a layer of complexity to Garcia's defeat. It serves as a reminder that, in boxing, both in-ring performance and ringside judgment must be held to the highest standards to preserve the sport's credibility.
A welterweight in Ryan Garcia drew just over 200 punches. Alright, now we have heavyweight fights. We have heavyweight fights like Joe Joyce versus Filip Hrgovic, which I think were double that in a 10-round fight, and they're heavyweights, big heavyweights. I don't know what happened here. I really don't. But I will say with Rolly, right? I've said with Rolly before, and I picked Ryan Garcia massively to win this fight. Rolly has never impressed me in the slightest. In fact, I never understood why anyone thought this guy was anyway decent. I thought he lost the fight earlier in his career. I can't remember the guy's name he was in there with, but it was a very dubious decision. He looked, well, against Ishmael Barroso, a guy who was officially 40, but let's be real, was probably closer to 50. He looked terrible in that fight. He got dropped in that fight. He got stopped with one punch by Tank Davis. He got the living crap beat out of him by Pitbull last year, so much so that when they interviewed him in the post-fight, he sounded just completely incoherent and out of it because he was probably concussed in that fight. And I just thought, like, this is just tailor-made for Ryan Garcia. He's the easiest fight out of them all. It's just tailor-made for him. And I thought we would see one of these three guys, Teofimo Lopez, and his fight with Barbosa was probably the most entertaining fight of the three main events. And that wasn't a great fight. It was good, but it wasn't great. This, I don't know what it was. Was it something to do with the fact that it was in Times Square? The atmosphere was not what I was expecting.
Following Ryan Garcia's loss to Rolando Rolly Romero, speculation began swirling about the future of a potential rematch with Devin Haney. Many questioned whether Garcia could recover from the setback and still secure a high-stakes bout with Haney. However, Oscar de la Hoya, Garcia's promoter, quickly put those doubts to rest. He confirmed that the rematch is still on track and emphasized that Garcia's recent defeat would not derail their plans. De La Hoya reassured fans that Ryan remains determined and focused on facing Haney, maintaining his ambition to prove himself at the top level. Adding to the conversation, rising lightweight star Keyshawn Davis came out in strong support of Garcia. He boldly claimed that Ryan is fully capable of knocking out Devin Haney in a rematch, expressing unwavering confidence in his talent despite the loss. Davis's comments suggest he believes Garcia can overcome adversity and re-establish himself as one of the elite fighters in the division. "It doesn't matter now," Davis said. "Ryan is going to fight Devin, and everyone will be watching." The Garcia-Haney rematch remains one of the most anticipated bouts in boxing, with fans eager to see how the rivalry unfolds. Meanwhile, Romero's promotion capitalized on his victory, claiming that Rolly is now the true champion of the lightweight division. They even took a swipe at Gervonta Tank Davis, stating that his era is over and his resume means little in light of Romero's win. The bold declaration sparked intense debate across the boxing community. While some fans embraced the idea of a power shift, others questioned the legitimacy of such claims. Whether Romero can continue to live up to the hype remains uncertain, but his camp is riding high on momentum for now.
Became a champ. Rolly became a champ. Tank resume is gold.
Oh,
I'm telling you, they're gonna go crazy. They gonna go
he
crazy.
did this to him. He did this to him. So what that say about it? Oh man, I can hear it now.
How about this? Every time they put Ryan Garcia in position to win a belt, he f***s up.
Damn.
Listen,
Damn, and if you say every time they put position in Rolly, he went.
Crazy. Crazy, bro.
He's shining there.
Rolly is about. Look at Devin.
Look at Devin. Look at Devin.
He shook his head because he upset. He
Look
gotta
at
be
Devin.
disappointed.
There goes my fight.
He about to see the bag get down.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates in the next one.